Today's day number 43. A little bit of ASMR, I think that's what it's called. Been going kind of hard with some trainings, tactics. Yesterday did like a kind of a long review video. So today I kind of want to just ramble, talk about what's on my brain, what's on my mind, etc. So we just wrapped up our workshop for our paid students. We host monthly live trainings, either breaking down something that we're doing in our business we just recently accomplished, or common pain points and problems that our members bring up. And today was kind of a cool one. We talked about launch steps, offer creation, promo. We did a little affiliate campaign with a product that we knew nothing about, and did 20K in sales in 72 hours, whatever. And that's not really what I want to like talk about today. I already did kind of mention that in the last few days, but that's kind of what's going on in the business. But today kind of reminds me more about genuinely loving the business that I run, right? As a whole, it's a very crazy concept when we can start taking words that we put on the internet, content we create on the internet, and like radically changing our life, financial situation, etc., simply because of putting ourselves out there on the World Wide Web, right? I'm just a below average Joe who used to work a minimum wage job, who's been able to help our students accomplish shit that I never even would have imagined accomplishing in my own life. So there's that. And we had two main clients. It was a bit of a small crowd this morning. And then we had two main questions that got brought up on this call. First being scaling a one-on-one type program, a one-on-one type offer, which is doable, but we have to like start looking at increasing prices, increasing how much our thing costs, right? Because more often than not, we're kind of strapped to the amount of time we have in our day, how much work we're putting in for people. If it's like a done for you type service, then we obviously need to start increasing prices as the volume increases. And this is what we were riffing on them with, around potentially tiered pricing. They only get X amount of access, X amount of services at X price, and then increasing those as you grow, right? Realistically, a one-on-one type program can scale if your price scales, right? So for example, the first 10 people, it's, $1,000 a month. Next 10 people, it's $2,000 a month. Next 10 people, it's $3,000 a month, right? And then you have a roster of 30 clients, and you're pumping out massive numbers in your business, and you don't need more sales. You don't need more people, but we have to naturally start scaling the price if we want to continue to run that type of model, or we need to start looking at other leveraged mediums, leveraged styled offers that allow you to open up more bandwidth. Okay, so a good example of this is we run a private coaching program, which is broken down into 3 different tiers. We have a tier 3, which is like one-on-one bi-weekly coaching calls, support, the whole shebang, right? Like me and Flip are literally in your back pockets every step of the way, in the DMs with you. We're doing bi-weekly check-ins, coaching calls, etc. But that's only available to like 1 or 2 people at a time, maximum. And then we have tier 2, which we cap out around 10 spots at a time. And then that is specific to, you get private support threads, you get private channels with us, you get check-in calls, you get all of this other stuff, but there's not as much one-on-one time. There's not the bi-weekly check-ins or the coaching calls. And then we have tier 1, which then is a pretty leveraged medium, right? A lot cheaper as far as like a financial investment. It's actually relatively cheap for what you get. It's like $500 today could get you access to this, but I digress. Which that gets you, kickoff call, group coaching, support, group support, etc. But that's a good example of baking in multiple different pricing packages depending on levels of support, levels of access, levels of implementation that your potential prospects want, without having to run 3 or 4 different offers. It's just tiered pricing based on what they're actually getting access to. And, the further and further along we get in business, you can give less and more access depending on what the offer actually is. And another thing we can also look at is we can, draw lines in the sand around who our offers are for as far as pricing. But we can also do this indirectly with, places in business or places in life, etc. Like, you have to already be making $5,000 a month to get my services, because you have to be, I'm going to do this for you. right? Or, hey, you need to already know what XYZ is because that's how you're going to be able to use my products, right? Drawing hard lines in the sand around who you're actually selling your offers to can make your life a whole lot easier. Again, this is something that we used to do before we ended up breaking out our coaching offer into multiple different tiers. We used to have a hard, fast rule of, hey, you needed to already have an audience of XYZ. But then there was a lot of people that were like, hey, we're not there yet, and we would still love to work with you. So then we started, breaking down different tiers, like, hey, you can still get in even if you don't have this, and we'll just help you work on some different things in business. And then on to the next topic. I know I'm a little squirreled off today. The next topic that got brought up on the call was, this customer was, moving well in business. They're consistent with content creation, but they're getting a lot of resistance around their prospects, the people in their worlds actually buying their offers. So we help them look at a couple different lenses as far as like making it viable for people to move, like incentivizing your audience to actually move and make a purchasing decision. Now, this is a very popular one in like the information space, right? If you're selling courses, you're selling digital products, you're selling stuff like that, we can't necessarily give all of the tactics, all of the strategies, all of the digital products and then sell more of the exact same thing. Like as an example, if I have a lead magnet that shows somebody A to Z how to, you know, do this thing in business, my mechanism or angle to sell the product that I want to sell can't be the exact same thing. It can't be the more of. If you're going to do like a information standpoint, it needs to be 30,000 foot overview, what the thing is, potential processes, how it works, etc., but not really over the shoulder, step by step, everything that goes into that actual process. Because realistically, the natural feeling that your audience will start to get is like, why do I need to buy this offer? Because I already have it, right? Now, the other lens we can also take is this is something that we use quite a bit because we do give a lot of tactics, we do give a lot of strategies, we share a lot of the processes very openly and very transparently. The main mechanism that we use to ascend people from our free content, from our free communities over into paid products is support, implementation, coaching, step by step, etc. Because that's not what we're already giving them, right? We're not giving them the personalized coaching. We're not giving them the weekly coaching calls and then trying to use that as the angle to get people to buy, if that makes sense. And I've seen this happen a lot with people that go live a lot on like TikTok, right? They're going live every single day and then they're trying to sell some type of coaching offer or like some type of support system where people can come ask you questions. And you have to look at it from the consumer's perspective. It's not incentivizing for them to have the ability to pay you and ask you questions if they can already do that every single day for free. And I'm not saying to like start gatekeeping or start diminishing the way that you run your business or the way that you give information or how you help people, but we do need to look at things from a different perspective and look at angles that are actually compelling to get your audience to move. Like as an example, I couldn't run a YouTube video on setting up and growing a Facebook group and go A to Z, give you guys over the shoulder all the details around growing and monetizing a community, and then expect you to buy a program that shows you how to do the exact same thing and give you the exact same trainings. There has to be some form of distinction between your free stuff and your paid stuff and the mechanism or the lever that you have to pull on to get them to move from one or the other. And I know it's kind of a tricky one to start grasping. It took me a really long time to get this, right? I was showing up, I was doing all this stuff, and I was wondering why people weren't buying. But at the end of the day, it wasn't a compelling enough angle or a compelling enough outcome for that person or a specific type of thing adjacent to the actual content that I was creating. The number one thing to remember is helping people solve a problem inadvertently creates another problem. So if we're helping people do XYZ in business or life, fitness, health, wellness, doesn't really matter. If we're helping them accomplish that via free content, we need to look at the problem that is naturally getting created. And mind you, I'm not telling you to intentionally go out and create problems in people's lives and businesses, but the problem that gets created by fixing this thing over here is what we're actually going to end up having to sell, right? Because, hey, I just helped you do this really cool thing, helped you accomplish this, And like the natural thing that you're probably going to start running into is this, and that's the mechanism that we need to use to start ascending people into our paid offers. Because without this, a lot of the times it's just like, well, why would I need to make that decision? Why would I need to purchase? Why would I need to do this? Because I already get all of it from you for free. And that's all I really got for you guys today. Bit of a tangent, bit of a rant. Obviously, if you'd be keen on checking out what we broke down in the actual today's workshop, give me a shout. Or don't. I'll be plugging along with these videos either way, and I'll see you tomorrow.